Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to absolutely master a core essential algebra concept. But we're not just stopping at the math. We're actually going to discover how this exact same mathematical rule directly connects to your personal character and how you navigate the world. So let's dive right in with a kind of surprising question. What on earth do algebra and your character actually have in common? Like, how does a strict mathematical rule about numbers mirror the way you live your life, make choices, and interact with people every single day? It's pretty wild, but they're totally connected.
Section 1. The Rule of Consistency, a function's foundation.
To answer that opening question, we've got to look at the math first. The absolutely crucial thing here is that a function is completely 100% reliable. By definition, a function is a mathematical rule that pairs each input with exactly one single output. Think of it like a perfectly running vending machine, right? You press the button for water, that's your input, and you expect exactly one thing to drop down. The water, your output. You know you're going to get that one consistent output every single time. If you press water and sometimes get water, but other times get a lukewarm soda, yeah, that machine is broken. In math, we'd simply say that is not a function.
And this brilliantly illustrates how functions describe consistent relationships out in the real world. Think about a road trip. The distance you travel directly depends on the time you've been driving. Or think about the grocery store. Your total cost depends exactly on the items you buy. So, grasping this isn't just about acing a math test. It's about building really essential problem-solving skills for everyday life. So how do we actually identify these reliable rules in the wild?
Section 2. Spotting functions, identifying reliability.
Now notice the clear visual difference between chaos and reliability here. Look at the left side for a second. We've got these ordered pairs. Notice how the input 2 gives us an output of 3, but then right next to it, the input 2 gives us an output of 4. It's totally unpredictable. It fails the test. That is not a function. But then look over at the right side. We have this perfectly reliable mapping diagram. Input 1 goes only to 4. Input 2 goes only to 5. And 3 goes only to 6. Literally one arrow per input. That right there, that is a perfectly dependable function.
And hey, whether you're looking at different formats, the rule never ever changes. Got ordered pairs? Just make sure there are no input repeats. Looking at a table, it has to follow the exact same consistent rule. If you're checking out a graph, you just test it with the vertical line test. That just means if you draw a straight line straight down anywhere on that graph, it should cross the graph's line only once. And for mapping diagrams, just check that there's only one single arrow leaving each input. No matter the format you're dealing with, you are always just looking for that exact one-to-one reliability.
Section 3. Function notation, evaluating f of x.
Okay, we're stepping things up a bit. When you see an f next to an x in parentheses, please don't panic. I know it kind of looks like advanced computer code, but f of x simply means function of x. It acts exactly like that reliable machine we talked about where you drop a number in, the x, just to see what drops out. It's really just a label telling you, hey, this is a consistent rule, plug your number in right here.
So let's actually see this machine in action. Let's say we want to evaluate the function f of x equals 3x minus 1, specifically when our input, our x, is 4. Step 1, we just plug that number 4 into our machine, right where the x used to be. So we write f of 4 equals 3 times 4 minus 1. Step 2, we multiply 3 by 4, giving us 12. And finally, step 3, we just simplify by subtracting 1. 12 minus 1 is 11. By dropping a 4 into this function, we get a completely consistent, super reliable output of 11. See? Not too bad.
Section 4. Test your knowledge. Homework challenge.
All right, you've got the tools now, so I'm actually going to challenge you to pause this explainer right here. Seriously, grab a piece of scrap paper and use your brand new knowledge of identifying inputs, mapping, the vertical line test, and evaluating notation to solve these 5 problems. Like, can you spot the repeating input in question 1? Or can you visualize drawing a vertical straight line right through a circle for question 4? Take a moment, have some fun with the puzzle, do the work, and prove to yourself that you've got a solid handle on the mechanics of mathematical consistency.
Section 5. Faithful character. Integrity matters. Now let's zoom out from the algebra for a quick second. Just like a mathematical function gives one reliable result for every single input, we are called to live with deep integrity and faithfulness in our own lives. Just look at this really profound truth from Luke 16:10. The one who is faithful in very little is also faithful in much. You see, faithfulness isn't just about those massive, life-altering moments. It actually shows up in every little decision we make, day in and day out. Whether you're right there in the spotlight with everyone watching, or you're just working quietly behind the scenes where literally no one will ever know, your character should act just like a perfect mathematical function. You should be dependably and consistently mapping your actions to truth and love. So, when the input is a really difficult situation, your output shouldn't randomly bounce back and forth between honesty and deceit, right? Your output should consistently map to integrity. We need to be dependable, faithful, and steady.
Section 6. True education brings peace of mind.
As taught in the HeroesMart Academy Godly Learner series, we've firmly intertwined biblical morality with education. And why is that? Well, because education without morality will ultimately hurt you. Just think about it for a second. What is the absolute point of being incredibly smart, highly educated, and mathematically gifted if you totally lack the moral consistency to make good life choices? If your actions constantly hurt yourself and the people around you, all that amazing brain power just isn't serving its true purpose.
But there's a beautiful alternative here. Romans 8:6-7 promises peace of mind to everyone who keeps their mind spiritual. When you pair the sharp, analytical, problem-solving skills of a great education with a steadfast, spiritually minded character, the promised output is always peace of mind. That is the consistent, faithful result. And we see this verified time and time again in the real world when people actually engage with this truth.
So, as you master algebra today and learn to spot a perfectly reliable function on a graph, I want you to ask yourself this. Are you building a life of integrity? Will your life be a reliable function, consistently mapping your smart choices and moral faithfulness directly to true peace of mind? The inputs are the choices you're making today, but when that final calculation is run, what will your ultimate output be?